Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Aman and I am going to teach you science. Okay. In previous lecture, what we have studied the type of combination in which we combine resistances. There were two different methods of combining multiple resistances. That was series connection and parallel connection. We have already studied about that series connection and parallel connection. What happens in series connection? In series connection, current remains same on each resistances, but the potential difference changes. Whereas in parallel connection, the potential difference remains the same, whereas current changes because there are different paths for the same current. So current divides itself. If you have not watched that last video, please go to the playlist and watch that video. Then you will be able to understand this lecture. Okay. Now in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the domestic wirings. Now we have understood the types of combination of two resistances or more than two resistances. There are two methods. One is series connection and another is parallel connection. So when it comes to our domestic wiring means household wiring. Household wiring means the house in which you are living right now. There is also a wiring. Your fan, your AC, your TV, your fridge, washing machine, everything is connected to electricity only. Everything runs on electricity. So the connection we use in our household circuit is parallel connection. Why do we use that? Here are some advantages of connecting all that electrical appliances. What does it mean? Electrical appliances means your fan, your bulb, your cooler, your washing machine, anything that we use is called electrical appliances. So all that electrical appliances must be connected in parallel. What are the advantages of connecting them in parallel and what are the disadvantages of connecting them in series? So let us understand one by one. The first one is, if one electrical appliance stops working, then all other also stops working. Yeah. If we connect them all in a series, it means there is only one switch for them. It means there is only one switch because all is connected, one here, that is connected to a single. Means the same current will flow through each resistances. If we block that current, it means the next appliance will not get that current, so they will stop working. It means if 5 resistances are connected, means if you have connected 5 bulbs in a series, suppose here, see, suppose you have connected 3 bulbs and the current is flowing from here because battery is connected like this. So if current is flowing through here and this bulb gets defected, okay, and this bulb gets defected, then what happens? It will not allow this current to flow forward. It means if one bulb is defected, the next 2 bulbs also will not work. If you want to have some example on this, you have seen that Chinese LED bulbs in market we use to decorate our house in Diwali also. So that Chinese bulb, if one bulb is defective, that whole the bulb connected to that bulb does not work. It means they are connected in series. So this is the problem here. If one bulb gets defected, another 2 bulb will not work because current will not reach here, because this will not allow the current to flow through it. Next, then what is the advantage in parallel connection? If one appliance stops working, then all other appliances keep working. Yes, because in parallel connection what happens? They all are connected in parallel. Means if you see here, see, one resistance means one bulb is this, another bulb and the third bulb. Okay, all are connected to a battery and the current is coming from here. As it reaches here, current divides into 3 bulbs, I1, I2 and I3. Suppose this bulb is defective. This bulb is defected. Then what happens? The current I1 will not flow through it, but still current I2 and I3 will flow. It means these 2 bulbs will glow. So what happens in this? If any one of the appliance gets damaged, other appliances do not get affected by that, they still work. So that is the advantage of connecting our electrical appliances in parallel over series. First advantage is, if any appliance gets defected, other appliance will not stop working, it will work as usual if we connect it in parallel. Next one is, all electrical appliances have single switch. Yes, in series connection I have already told you, in series connection there is only one switch for all electrical appliances, one switch off, everything off, just like main switch. Okay, but in parallel connection there is different switch for each appliances. If you want to on fan, switch on that fan. If you want to on AC, switch on that AC. But in series connection there will be only one switch. If you on that, you will get to know, okay, your fan is working, your AC is working, your bulb is also glowing. So every electrical appliances will start working. So that is second difference. So in this respective also, parallel connection has edge over series connection. So it has advantage. Now third one is, each appliances do not get the same voltage. Yes, I have explained in the last lecture that in a series connection, potential difference gets changed. Means the value of potential difference at each resistance is different. Okay, but in parallel connection, the potential difference remains the same. So in this, what will happen? Each appliance will not get the same voltage, 220 volt, because voltage will divide itself. Total voltage applied is 220. We know our home circuit is 220 volt, works upon 220 volt. So 220 volt, when we get that 220 volt, if all appliances is connected in series, what will happen? That 220 volt will break down. Means it will divide itself. In last lecture I have explained you this. But in parallel connection, what happens? The total potential difference will be the same at each resistances. Suppose the total potential is 220 volt, the supply is 220 volt. So each resistance, each electrical appliance will get the same potential, 220 volt in parallel connection. But in series connection, they will not get the same potential difference. Clear? In parallel connection, the potential difference will be same at each electrical appliances, and we know our home circuits में जो भी इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेज आप यूज करते हो, मींस लाइक टीवी, फ्रिज और एसी, वॉशिंग मशीन, व्हाटएवर वी यूज, all are designed on 220 volt. All are designed on 220 volt. So they must get 220 volt. But when we connect them in series, they won't get 220 volt. Remember it. So here also there is an advantage of connecting them in parallel, because each will get 220 volt when we connect them in parallel. And the last one, as we know, the total resistance in parallel connection will get reduced. Why? Because the total resistance, the formula of total resistance is, what is that total resistance formula in parallel connection? This is the formula, reciprocal. So when we do that reciprocal, so effective total resistance will decrease. But in parallel series connection, what happens? Algebraic sum, R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4. So total resistance will increase, whereas in parallel connection the total resistance will decrease. So as the overall resistance is reduces, due to which the current through power supply is high. If the resistance value is less, then current will be more. See why? See here, we know V is equal to IR from Ohm's law. V is constant, that is 220. Because in our home circuit 220 volt ही होता है. If resistance decreases, then what will happen? Current will increase, because the product of I and R must be constant. So if R is less, I will be more. But in series connection, what happens? Resistance increases, due to which the current value decreases. So this is also an advantage in connecting parallel. So in our household circuits or domestic wiring, we prefer parallel connection. What are the advantages of connecting them in parallel? These are the advantages. These are the 4 advantages. And what is the disadvantage in connecting them in series? These are the 4 disadvantages. Okay. So write it. It is very important question. in your paper they may ask what are the advantages of connecting electrical appliances in your home circuit या domestic circuit in parallel or disadvantages in series. They may ask this question for 2 or 3 marks. So write it down or take a screenshot. Now our next topic is electric power. We will do numericals on that combination of resistances in next lecture. I am trying to complete the theory part of this chapter in this video. I will try to complete it. So the next topic is electric power. But before studying that electric power, let us discuss the direction of current. See, if I will ask you the direction of current, you will say, sir, it is from positive to negative direction. But when I will ask you what is the electronic direction of current and what is the conventional direction of current, then what will you answer? You will say, sir, I know only one direction, that is from positive to negative. So let us see here. Let us discuss the conventional direction of current and the electronic direction of current. Let us consider this is a conductor. Any conductor, copper, aluminum, anything. And we connect a battery, positive and negative. Okay. Now, what is free in this conductor? Conductor is nothing, a metal. Okay, metal, generally metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Suppose this is copper metal or aluminium. So what is present in this? We know the current, flow of charge. The charge, which charge is flowing? Only electron, not proton, because electrons are the free. Electrons are free. So what happens in this? There are free electrons. Conductors के पास क्या होता है? Conductors have free electrons. And as we connect them in a battery, they starts flowing. That's why the current, we say the current is flowing. So there are free electrons, but the electrons are not arranged in a proper direction. They are in different direction. They are not aligned in the proper direction. Suppose these are electrons. They all are in different direction. They are not aligned because we have not connected. Suppose, okay, let us remove this battery. If we see a conductor, we will get to know it is in this pattern. The electrons are arranged in this pattern. They are not unidirectional. They are in multidirectional. They are moving here and there because they are free. They are free. That's why we call electrons are free to move. So electrons are free to move. So they are vibrating in different directions. As we connect it to a battery, now let us connect it to a battery. Now what will happen? They all will arrange into a single direction. They all will arrange into a single direction. In which direction? Because these are negative charges, so they will be attracted by positive terminal. Suppose this is the positive terminal, so this is the positive terminal of conductor and this is the negative terminal of conductor. So as electrons have negative nature, so they will start moving towards positive terminal. So they will start moving towards positive terminal. So they will arrange like this. See. They will get arranged in unidirectional from negative to positive. Means the movement of electrons are from negative to positive. Okay. So this direction from negative to positive, because there is movement of electron from negative to positive, this direction of current is known as electronic current. Electronic current. What is the direction of electronic current? Negative to positive. Why we call it as electronic current? Because electrons are moving from negative to positive terminal, but we consider that current is flowing from positive to negative. That is called as conventional current. conventional current. So what is the direction of conventional current? Conventional current has direction from positive to negative, whereas electronic current is from negative to positive. Okay. So this you must know about this. Two direction means someone may ask you question. Okay, what is the direction of current? You will simply say current flows from positive to negative direction. Okay, but that is conventional current. We take it as current is moving from positive to negative, but actually the current is moving negative to positive. That current is known as electronic current. Okay, but we consider the current is flowing from positive to negative, that is conventional current. We call it as conventional current. Okay, don't get confused. We will always take the current is moving from positive to negative direction. Okay, since electron is moving from negative to positive, that's why we call it electronic current, and the direction of that electronic current is from negative to positive. Okay, now let us discuss about electric power. Let us discuss about what? Electric power. Next topic is electric power. You might have studied power in class 10th. What is power? Rate of doing work. Power is nothing, rate of doing work or work done per unit time. So electric power is nothing, the rate of electrical work done. Electric power is nothing, the rate of electrical work done or the electrical work done per unit time. You can write any one. The rate of electrical work done is called electric power, or the electrical work done per unit time is called electric power. It means electric power is equal to work done by time. This is electric power, this is electric work done. Okay, so this is the formula for electric work done, that is power, that is work done by time. Electric work done by time. The electric work done per unit time is called electric power. So P is equal to W by T. Now see here, what is the unit of W? Work done is joules. What is the unit of time? That is second. It means its unit is joules per second. It means its unit is joules per second. But in SI unit we will take it as watt, W. Okay, we take it as watt. It means 1 joule per second is equal to 1 watt. There is here a question arises, that is define 1 watt of electric power. So what we will write it? Define 1 watt of electric power. So 1 watt of electric power is nothing, 1 joule per second. It means when electric work done is 1 joule and the time is 1 second. It means the electric work done, when the electric work done is of 1 joule and the time is 1 second, or the electric work done of 1 joule is electric work done is 1 joule and time is 1 second, then we will call that a power of 1 joule per second or 1 watt. What is 1 watt? 1 watt is nothing, 1 joule per second means 1 joule by 1 second is nothing, 1 watt. Okay, clear? So you will write it, it is your homework. Now write it down or take a screenshot. I am deriving the other formula in terms of potential difference and current. Other formula of electric power in terms of potential difference and current. So let us see here. So see, work done. this work done is nothing, sorry, let's move to the first lecture. In first lecture, what I have explained to you, V is equal to W by Q. Okay, V is equal to W by Q. Potential difference is equal to work done by charge. From here, if we will take W, W will be equal to V into Q. From here, if we will take W, W will be equal to V into Q. So we will replace this W by V into Q. So P will be equal to V into Q by T. Okay, whole divided by T, no problem. Now Q by T, we know Q by T is some other value. What is Q by T? Q by T is nothing, I. Electric current is equal to rate of flow of charge is electric current. So Q by T is nothing, I. So power is equal to V into I. This is the formula for electric power in terms of potential difference and electric current. P is equal to V into I. Okay, write it down or take a screenshot. Here you write as Q by T is equal to I. Okay, now let us see the other forms of this formula, V into I. So I will write you the whole formula here. Power is nothing, V into I. First formula. Second, power is nothing, work done by time. Okay. Second formula. Now other forms of this formula. See, E is equal to V if we remove I. So we know from Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So I will be V upon R. So if we remove I, we can write V upon R. So power is nothing, V square upon R. This is another form of formula. Again, if we remove V, so in place of V, we can write I into R. So IR into I. So P is equal to I square R. This is the third form. Okay. So there is total three forms of this formula. P is equal to V into I, P is equal to V square by R, and P is equal to I square into R. These are the forms of this formula only. If someone writes power is equal to square of current into R resistance, that is also correct. If someone writes power is equal to V into I, that is also correct. If someone writes P is equal to V square by R, that is also correct. And someone writes P is equal to W by T, that is also correct. Okay, write it down or take a screenshot. Now the next topic is Joule's law of heating. Or we call it as heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current. Okay. Joule's law of heating or heating effect of electric current. Now, if we observe, when we pass electricity over any electrical appliances, what happens? It gets heated. Why does it get heated? Because there is resistance inside it. So that resistance resists the flow of current, and current wants to move, and current tries to move forward. So there is some resistance. Due to that resistance, there is a heating effect. The substance gets heated. Some examples of heating effect are electric iron, electric oven. They works on this principle, heating effect of electric. If electric iron does get heated, you प्रेस आप नहीं कर सकते फिर. So heating effect of electric current is due to only resistance. If the value of resistance is more, the substance will get heated. So what is that heating effect of electric current or Joule's law of heating? See, if I write the formula for Joule's law of heating, that is H is equal to I square RT. Okay, H is equal to I square RT, that is heating effect of electric current. Joule's law of heating, we call it as Joule's law of heating. So I square RT, it means the heating effect is directly proportional to a square of current, resistance and time. The square of current, resistance and time. For how much time you pass electric current through that electric appliance, that is that time. This is resistance. If we write it here, this is current, resistance, and this is time. Okay, this is Joule's law of heating. Now we will derive this formula. How do we derive this formula? H is equal to I square RT. Okay, what we need to do here? We need to derive that formula. Now you see, heating effect is what? It is nothing. It is a form of energy. Heat is nothing, a form of energy. So if I say here, see, work done is equal to energy consumed or released. This is very important statement. I am trying to make you understand this statement. This is very statement. Work done is equal to nothing, energy consumed or energy released. You have studied in class 9th work power energy. In that, work is nothing, energy. Work is equal to energy. The formula for work done and energy both were same. Yeah, types of energy in which you have studied kinetic energy and potential energy, that is different. But when we derived that formula, we were using the formula for work done. Why we are using that formula for work done? Because work done is nothing, energy consumed or energy released. If I am doing some work, so I am releasing that much amount of energy, and on what object I am doing that work, that object is gaining that energy. Okay, there is transfer of energy. The person who is doing work will release energy, and the object on which work is done will gain energy. So work done is nothing, energy consumed or energy released. The amount of work you will done, the same amount of energy you will release or gain. Okay, so work done is nothing equal to energy consumed or released. So if you remember that class 9th work power energy, we defined power in two terms. Power is nothing, rate of doing work, or second, the power is nothing, energy consumed per unit time. We can write power as also energy upon time. We can write power also energy upon time, because work done is nothing is equal to energy consumed or energy released. So from here, energy is nothing, power into time. Okay, so एक चीज और सीख ही लिए यहाँ पे. If you want to know the electrical energy, so electrical energy we can calculate the electrical energy by using this formula, power into time. Okay, now see why I am telling this. Just see here. So again, for deriving the formula for energy, we will use the formula for work done. Okay, we will use the formula for work done. What is the formula for work done? We know V is equal to W by Q. It means from here W is equal to V into Q. Okay, now this work done is nothing, V into Q. See here, W is equal to, now we will replace this V, as we know from Ohm's law. From Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So we will replace this V by IR. So IR into Q. Now again we will replace this Q. How? From this formula, I is equal to Q by T. Therefore Q is equal to I into T. So we will replace this Q by I into T. See here, W is equal to IR into I into T. So this I into I square R into T. That work is done is nothing, heating effect of electric current. This formula, H is equal to I square RT. This is the derivation. Okay, this is the derivation for this. H is equal to I square. How do we derive this? By using this formula. V is equal to W by Q. V is nothing, work done by charge. We know this formula. So we will replace because we need the formula for work done. So from here, work done is nothing, potential difference into charge. What is the formula for potential difference? From Ohm's law, we know the potential difference is IR. So we will replace here IR into Q. What is the formula of Q? We don't know the formula of Q, but yes, we know I is equal to Q by T. So from here, Q is equal to nothing, I into T. We will replace this I into T in place of Q. So that will be I square RT. So work done is nothing, I square RT. And this work done is converted into heat. This work done will be converted into heat energy. Converted into heat energy. That's why H is equal to I square RT. Okay, write it down or take a screenshot. This is the derivation of, and this formula, this is known as Joule's law. And what does it observation of Joule's law is heating effect of electric current H is directly proportional to square of current, resistance and time. Okay, I will explain you that. Now see Joule's law of heating. Because formula is I square RT. So according to Joule's law, heating effect of electric current or heat energy, heating effect is directly proportional. I am writing in short way, you have to write it in word form. Heating effect is directly proportional to a square of current, directly proportional to resistance and directly proportional to time. Okay, these were the observation of Joule's law. Joule's law observed that heating effect is directly proportional to the square of current, resistance and time. Now other forms of this formula, because we can replace I and replace R, we know the formula. So H is equal to I square into T into R. If we replace R, so what will be the formula for R? V is equal to IR, we know. So from here R is equal to V upon I. So we can write it here V upon I cancel. So H is equal to V I T. Another form. Second form. Now we will replace I. So from here, if we know I is equal to nothing, V upon R, we will use this formula. See here, if we take I on this side, so it will be V upon R. So H is equal to, see here, I square. So in place of I, we will replace V by R. So V by R whole square into I into R into T. So V square upon R square into R into T. This R cancel. So that is V square upon R into T. That is heating effect. This is the other form. So then similarly as electric power, there were three forms of a formula for electric power. There is also three forms: I square RT, VIT and V square by RT. If you compare those two formula, there is only one extra term, that is time. What was the formula for power? VI, V into I. So simply multiply it by T, you will get heating effect. Other formula, I square R, multiply it by time, you will get heating effect. Third formula, V square by R, multiply it by T, you will get heating effect. Because heating effect is nothing, power into time. That is energy. Energy is nothing, power into time. I have explained you just before. Okay. So these were the theory related to this chapter. Yeah, there is also some application of this Joule's law of heating, the heating effect of electrical. What are that applications? Electric bulb is the application because it works on this principle. Electric bulb will glow, that will become hot. Electric iron oven. These electric appliances works on this principle. Okay. So the theory related to this chapter, electricity, is already done. Now we have to do numericals based on this chapter. So numericals, I think it will take 2 lectures to complete all types of numericals, because we will do a large number of numericals, so that it will be easy for you to solve the numericals. Okay, now on what topics numericals are left? I think it is on combination of resistances, electric power, electric energy, and heating effect. These 4 topics are left for numericals. So in next lecture I will make the numerical. I will take all numericals. Okay, I will try to make 2 different lectures. Okay, so that more and more number of numericals can be solved. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel, like this video, and if you have any problem related to this lecture, please comment में आप उसको लिख सकते हो. Okay, thank you.